When it comes to the whole drug thing, even if you do it quote unquote responsibly, there is real evidence to show that especially if you do it too young of an age, say like under 25, it numbs your brain.
The whole premise of it is, how do we get to a place where we are making decisions that are responsible for us on a long-term basis? Because all these one-shot kill type of decisions that you could make, right?
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, women, I don't know if there's any that you have to add to that are like these one-shot.
Gambling.
Gambling's one of them. Travis Kelce is one of the most well-known current football players. And the thing is most of the people who know who Travis Kelce is today had never heard of him until he started dating Taylor Swift.
What do you think is Barry Bonds' legacy? Like, do you think he is the best player in baseball? And how does like his value in the autograph market work?
So I look at a guy like Barry Bonds.
When it comes to what's it called? The whole drug thing, even if you do it quote unquote responsibly, there is real evidence to show that especially if you do it too young of an age, say like under 25, it numbs your brain. It demotivates you. Like, I don't know anybody who's become more ambitious because they smoked pot.
It's true. I totally
I
agree
don't
with
know
that.
anybody who's become more ambitious by doing ayahuasca with a shaman in Peru.
You know, the interesting thing is I've heard a lot of really interesting things about ayahuasca from a place of, I've never tried it personally, but
I try to stay away from anything.
what
unless it's with my
I've
brain
heard
first.
about ayahuasca is that there are people who can take it and it can put them in a place where they get to heal something of the past, or they get to a place of maybe making a decision that's important to them for more of a place of alignment and wholeness. So while it's not something that I would advocate for somebody to do, again, it's something that I have never done personally.
I've seen it's
And-
more common that people just kind of one-shotted, that they just
And
kind of...
I would agree with you on that, right? And again, so the whole premise of it, I just felt I had to share my opinion on that. The whole premise of it is, how do we get to a place where we are making decisions that are responsible for us on a long-term basis? Because all these one-shot kill type of decisions that you could make, right?
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, women, I don't know if there's any that you have to add to that are like these one-shot.
Gambling.
Gambling's one of them.
Any
Absolutely.
sort of illegal activity generally.
Sure. Committing crimes is likely not a good idea.
Yeah. But that, and also the other one might be is like, it could be like migrating to another country.
It could be. I mean, again,
But you could take that back.
You probably could take that back. Like, unless you end up going to a country that is going through like a current like war,
Yeah.
or a third world country where the very high crime rate and it is like not safe to be a tourist over there. It's like you can likely get back home. It's like, I'm talking about the decisions that you make right now that are going into effect tonight that can have life-altering consequences.
Well, the other one is like burning bridges with relatives.
Yes, but nowadays, with the way things are bridges really ever burned, like, specifically?
Yes.
You feel so?
Yeah.
I'm at a place now where I feel like there's a lot of things that you can rebuild in life. Like, yes, sure, you steal from someone, screw somebody over, there's a good chance you won't be able to get back with that person, right? Trust is lost.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get back. But assuming there wasn't something ethical that was violated within the relationship, I feel like there's a lot of like atonement that you can do to try to fix a relationship. And I feel like the tolerance for a bridge being burned is a lot higher today than it ever has been before.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, but that might just be part of being a product of like a more secular urban environment. Like, I don't know. I feel like you can still burn bridges with, especially like, for example, with family. Like, there's a lot of families that you're supposed to give preferential treatment to your family members. And if you don't do that, like, or if you do something against them, but that's in your short-term interest, they're not going to forgive you for that.
But that's ethical, right? It's for your short-term interest and it's against them.
Yeah.
So that's an ethical thing, right? And I think that doing something that's goes against somebody's ethics is a way to burn a bridge.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is a one evening decision
Yeah.
of I am going to go and get drunk and get in my
Oh,
car.
I think the other one might be like social media.
But even then, it's like people come back from that, right? I mean, you look at somebody like an Andrew Tate who got canceled on social media years ago
Yeah.
for saying stuff that wasn't necessarily wrong, but stuff that other people didn't like, right? So he got canceled, he got outed, he got kicked off of social media, he got thrown in jail. All things that are
I don't know. I think if you go on OF, you can't really come back from that.
all things that are not positive to have happened, right?
Yeah.
To him, but he's back and he can do as he pleases in a lot of these fields now, right? Okay, a woman going on OF, right?
Yeah.
That's not an ideal situation. Like if I had a daughter, I would not want her to be there, right? But I don't feel like doing that once is a life-altering move to where you can never come back from that. Sure, you might not be able to come back from that with certain people, right? You're likely not coming back from that in the eyes of God,
Yeah.
right? You're likely not coming back from that in the eyes of people who have a certain level of respect for you.
Yeah.
But I think 10, 15 years down the road, if you're out of it, most people would never even know. Most of these people never get that big. It's like you sit there and you think of the athlete, the professional athlete who never rose to superstardom or fame.
Yeah.
Will they get recognized in a city that they didn't play in 10 years after they retired? It's like they can have a completely anonymous life. It's like,
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like there's like a lot of former Angels here who
Yeah.
did play for the team, and I don't remember what they look like, and they go to my gym sometimes.
sure. Or I sit there and I think about a guy like Mike Trout, right?
Yeah.
Angel superstar. He's on I think, what is it, like a 12 or 13 or 14 year contract for like $400 million on the Angels.
If he got to a
Great
certain
player, multiple time MVP. And I feel like if Mike Trout was walking down the street here in Orange County, that the percentage of people that recognize him would not be the majority.
I think he's gotten to the level that people would recognize him.
People would
Maybe the
recognize
next tier
him,
below that is the one who can live in more.
but I
anonymity.
don't feel like it's okay. If Shohei Ohtani was walking down the street, you will likely recognize Shohei
Yeah,
Ohtani.
there's not that many 6'4" Japanese baseball players.
Yes. But I think a guy like Mike Trout could walk around Orange County and be recognized by not the majority of people. And I think that after he retires, he can go to another city in the country and be relatively anonymous. Like, sure, people will know who he is. They'll
Like, do
view
you
him
think-
positively.
I mean, think of Albert Pujols walk down the street. Would people recognize him?
I mean, Albert Pujols at this point has been retired for a few years,
Yeah.
right?
He's a good
If you-
comparison to Trout.
If you know baseball, really, so Albert Pujols in St. Louis, which is where his heyday was, right, will likely get recognized for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Right? Albert Pujols will, I mean, he's one of the greatest players that's ever played. I mean, from like a longevity standpoint, I mean, he's won MVPs, he's won World Series. Like, I mean, the guy kicks ass, right? But I sit there and I think it's like a guy like Albert Pujols, if he went to Seattle, it's like, and he's just sitting there walking down the street. It's like, what percentage of people are going to recognize Albert Pujols? Like, I don't feel like it's the majority.
Yeah.
Like, because first of all, you start with baseball fans, right? Baseball fans would be the demographic of people that would recognize him, right?
Yeah.
If you don't watch baseball, you don't know who Albert Pujols is.
And you had to watch baseball.
And you had to watch baseball during the era that Albert Pujols played, which was basically at the turn of the century, right? Turn of the millennium.
2001 to 2020, basically.
Yeah, you'd have to watch that, right? But, and then there's also no public drama or notoriety. So it's like a guy like Alex Rodriguez, for example, right? Who was seen in the media, he's dating Jennifer Lopez. Like there's a certain type of celebrity crowd that started like knowing who Alex Rodriguez is for one thing or another, right? It's like you get a guy like Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was notorious, like in the news, like he had the case that he went through, right, with
Yeah.
all the performance enhancing
But Barry Bonds has
drugs.
lost a lot of weight, so he might not be
And
recognizable.
nowadays, dude, I hear from people in the Bay Area, they see Barry Bonds, he's on his bike, he's very fit, he's very healthy, he's lost a lot of weight, right? And it's like, hey, we just saw Barry Bonds riding his bike. It's like, but again, you had to watch baseball to understand who he was, right? And it's like, who are the athletes who have a level of fame that transcends what they do, right? It's like, okay, Steph Curry, you don't even have to be a basketball fan. You'll recognize him. LeBron James, you don't have to be a
You really
basketball
don't
fan.
think
You'll
Barry
recognize him.
Bonds is on that tier? He's the best baseball player to ever play.
I think that Barry Bonds can go to certain places in the country that are away from San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he won't get recognized at all, but I don't think it would be to a level of uncomfortable fame to where he can't go to a restaurant and sit down and order food without being bothered or acknowledged.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and I think that when we look at athletes, and we forget that most of the people that know the athletes are fans of the sport. I think one of the best examples I can give right now is Travis Kelce is one of the most well-known current football players. As a football player, he's
I
a
think
tight end.
him and Brady, I think, are the only football players that are known outside of football
Well,
players.
sure.
And Brady doesn't even play
Yeah,
anymore.
sure. But my point on that is as a football player, he's known as a football player. He's a tight end.
Yeah.
He's on the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. He's won multiple Super Bowls, right? And the thing is most of the people who know who Travis Kelce is today had never heard of him until he started dating Taylor Swift. Once he started dating Taylor Swift, now an entire world of people that have never even watched a snap of football know who Travis Kelce is. And he had a necessarily like, sure, I mean, Travis Kelce could walk into a bar, right? And people would say, hey, this guy's tall and athletic up until a certain point in time. Once he starts dating Taylor Swift, he's in a place now where it's like, this guy is a worldwide celebrity. He will likely be recognized everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
And that, in my opinion, is the life change that occurs from a place of fame with certain people once they start transcending the domain that they're currently in, which is whatever sport they're playing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is just more of a sports question. I'm curious of you. Like, what do you think is Barry Bonds' legacy? Like, do you think he is the best player of baseball, and why? And how does like his value in the autograph market work? Because I'm curious, because like he's hated for his controversies with steroids, but also like statistically is the best to ever play the game.
Also, I look at a guy like Barry Bonds from a talent and skill standpoint, right? And there's no question in my mind that from a talent and skill standpoint, he's one of the most talented and most skilled baseball players to ever play. It's like that guy could put contact, like bat to ball.
I think he's number one.
Better than anyone from a power standpoint. From a longevity standpoint, he was there for a very long time, right? He's the all-time home run king, like undisputed, 762 home runs. Like nobody has ever gotten to that total, right?
Yeah.
By the way, one thing people don't talk about is they say at the 300-300 club, meaning you hit 300 home runs, you steal 300 bases, you become kind of a Hall of Fame level player. Bonds is the only person to be in the 400-400 club and the 500-500 club. And it's like, so Barry Bonds' level of dominance as a baseball player is second to none. Now, obviously, we may end up getting to a point where we see a guy like Shohei Ohtani look really, really good in about 10 years, right? But we need another 10 years of Shohei Ohtani.
I think Ohtani's the only one has a chance
to start having these Barry Bonds level conversations.
But he also pitches.
Sure, no, I know. But the number of MVPs Bonds won, the number of home runs he hit, number of bases he stole. Another guy that is on a similar like level of conversation as Bonds is Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens pitched for 24 years. He won 7 Cy Youngs. 7. That's insane. Like, to win 1 Cy Young, you were considered like a really, really good player.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, you were going down in history books. You were winning a Cy Young. This guy won 7 Cy Youngs. And he struck out over 4,000 batters. Right? And you look at a guy like Barry Bonds and a guy like Roger Clemens, and the level of disrespect that they're getting from whether it's baseball fans or from the Hall of Fame is, in my opinion, it's outrageous. I mean, you have guys that, like, 24 years is a long time. Like, to give you an idea, I was born in 1995.
Yeah.
Both Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens retired in 2007.
Yeah.
Which means that I was 11 years old when Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens had played their last game of baseball.
Yeah, I was in high school in their last year of baseball.
And the thing is I wasn't even alive for the last half of Roger Clemens' career. I was maybe slightly over 50% on Bonds as far as to how long I had been alive for. They had been doing it so long. They did it in the 80s. They did it in the 90s. They did it in the 2000s. And they did it at a high level throughout their entire career. So
isn't it kind of strange with the Baseball Hall of Fame that, like, you have your all-time hit king, your all-time home run king, and, like, I think is Roger Clemens number 1 for most Cy Youngs?
Number 1 for most Cy Youngs, yes.
All not in the Hall of Fame.
I know.
What does that say about baseball?
Well, I think it says a lot about Baseball Hall of Fame that it doesn't include some of the best players that have ever played, right? And it's interesting. I mean, you look at it from like a marketing standpoint, from like a memorabilia value standpoint, and the unfortunate reality is it does actually hurt the value of their collectibles with them not being in the Hall of Fame. And that's a really unfortunate thing because, I mean, there's lots of opportunities for these players to make a living with their memorabilia and signing autographs.
Like, do you think there'd be like a bet to buy gear from Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens and then sell it when they get into the Hall of Fame?
It's interesting because it's like, first of all, for all 3 of the guys, I don't believe that there's a shortage of supply of what's out there. Like, especially Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Pete Rose was notorious for signing a lot of autographs, like more than Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens combined. And a guy like Pete Rose, it's like everybody who wants to can own 1 autograph, and everybody who wants to can own even 10 autographs or 100 autographs.
Yeah.
Like, there's no shortage of product on the market. But I sit there and I think it's like, okay, like if a guy like Pete Rose was in the Hall of Fame, the autographs that he signed could have been of a higher value, and then he might not have needed to sign as many to make the amount of money that he desired to make. Or he could have continued to do that, maybe made a little bit more money, but the demand, I think, would be bigger. So it's like you would end up ultimately getting more buyers or consumers that want to own the product because, hey, this guy is a Hall of Famer. And it's like right now, when I go to sell an autograph, I can't market a Pete Rose autograph as this is a baseball Hall of Famer. Sure, if you know baseball and you watch baseball, you understand who Pete Rose is and his level of greatness, but you won't, like, the average consumer buys the little taglines. Hey, this person was a Hall of Famer, right? And other taglines and statistical accolades are, okay, Barry Bonds is the home run king. Roger Clemens is the Cy Young king. Like, shit. Like, by the way, Cy Young was a hell of a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
The award is named after him. Like, at a certain point, did they name it the Roger Clemens Award? Like, you win an award that many times, like, you get the award named after you. Like, that's the really interesting thing that, like, we're going to see from, like, a sports standpoint, like, later down the line is, like, when do these guys, if ever, get the level of respect that they deserve? Because to play for 20 plus seasons, and I'm not talking about playing for 20 plus seasons and like limping in your last 7 or 8 seasons, like going out in a way of it's like, hey, this guy was good for X amount of years and now he's a wash up.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about for playing 20 plus seasons at a really, really high level. That is like transcendent, right? And yes, there are more people that'll recognize Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens or Pete Rose walking down the street. Pete Rose passed away recently. May he rest in peace. But because they are transcendent athletes, but ultimately, it's interesting to look at things from like a level of fame. And I think the people that really have the most level of fame are the people that are viewed as like celebrities for what they do. And I think that Barry Bonds is viewed as a baseball player. I think that Roger Clemens is viewed as a baseball player. I think that Pete Rose is viewed as a baseball player. Whereas somebody like Travis Kelce right now is viewed as probably more of a pop culture icon and the future husband to Taylor Swift than he's viewed as a football player. And to me, that transcends the level of fame that he has as a football player. And it's interesting to think about how people view these different athletes over a certain period of time.
Yeah, back to the the expected value and personal agency topic. Given the fact that we've talked about how college odds of making your career meaningful are lower, and that the risk reward of like starting a business and having a job are all negative expected value. It's the same with like moving to another country. You'll probably spend more on the move costs and diminished happiness from loneliness than you gain from new experiences statistically. Getting married, same thing, like the down tail of a bad marriage or divorce overwhelms even the higher payout of a good marriage. And same with kids. Like if one of your kids ends up not turning out well, um, the pain from that is a lot higher than the joy of your kid turning out well. So, or you might not be able to simply afford it because of economics, and how much money you end up spending might not have been worth the hassle. I think there's not really a price to family, so I kind of disagree with that one. But if you just from a purely mathematical sense, any decision that has irreversible risk, or if you're not wealthy, a sizable level of risk that would take a long time to reverse. How do you still motivate yourself to try anyway? Because this is kind of one of the spiritual and psychological and socioeconomic questions of our day. In a world where most risky decisions have a negative expected value, and most decisions that are of any material consequence are risky decisions, how do you motivate yourself to choose to make a choice anyway? Like this is kind of my definition of pearl drift, is that you trying to coast by not making the choice. And in the long run, not making a choice is a choice, and it's a choice that leads to your physical and economic and spiritual and cultural decay. And if enough people do that, you get a general decline in the quality of our society. But back to the first question, like how do you inspire yourself to still try when the social calibration of the way our economy is structured tells you that you're better off not trying?
It's interesting. It's like, so for me,